Hey guys, here we're looking at Death Mask by Jim Butcher. This is the 5th book in the Dresden Files series. So this book was originally released in softcover. The first 6 books of this series, which is now around 15 or 16 books, something like that, were originally released in softcover. And the publisher went back after the series really took hold. This is urban fantasy, but it's actually really good urban fantasy. Once popularity took hold, they went back and re-released the first 6 books in this series as hardcovers, and did I don't know how many printings they did of it, but because the book had already had its run, I don't think they did very many first printings of the first edition hardcover. So that's what makes these books kind of special here. Here's a look at the copyright page. We've got first hardcover printing, first edition. And that's what I've actually been collecting here for the Jim Butcher books, or for the Dresden File books, is all first edition, first printings, just the trades. I got in too late to get into the Subterranean Press game of the nice editions that they were doing. It just was too expensive by the time I noticed how good these books were. So about the books themselves, like I said, this is urban fantasy, which has become kind of a laughable genre today, especially among serious readers, but this is actually a little bit better than the normal urban fantasy. And not saying all urban fantasy is bad. I've loved plenty of it myself, and a lot of great short stories are written in there, in the kind of fantasy genre, and some spillover in urban fantasy. Anyway, I don't really hate the genre, but it's done some things to spoil some of the monsters that I used to like a lot, vampires and demons and werewolves and stuff, and they've just it's become very adolescent with the urban fantasy genre, and this really isn't an adolescent type of thing. It's not necessarily an adult book either, although this one does have a decently graphic sex scene in it. This is just smarter. Jim Butcher does urban fantasy smarter than the others that I've been exposed to. Like, it's not a very well read genre of mine, so if anybody has any pointers for where to look for great urban fantasy, I would definitely follow it up. But from what I've seen, I like Jim Butcher quite a bit, and I wouldn't think I would like these stories as much as I actually do. So this is cool stuff. Harry Dresden from the Dresden Files, Jim Butcher, and this, like I said, this is book 5. This is Rock Publishing, trade hardcover. So this is recommended stuff. Out of the first 5 books, I think this is my favorite so far. And all I've read is those first 5, but I do think this is my favorite. So Jim Butcher, Death Masks.